Hey, I've been having some really fun conversations talking about an important topic, and that is chord construction. Um, let's stay with things based on an A chord for a little bit. Let's review an A major scale. This would be A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A, which is, well, another way to think of it is the root, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. To make an A major chord, we would use the root, the A, the third, C sharp, and the fifth, E. Root, third, fifth. Kind of sounds like a bass riff. Or if you take it to the octave, of course on one string is a little awkward because we have to move our hands, so we might make a shape like this. So an A major chord is made of an A, a root, C sharp, third, a fifth, E, and we can throw an octave in. And that's like an arpeggio I'm doing. So now to make the chord, it's going to look maybe like this. Root, third, fifth, A, C sharp, E. It's kind of a pretty sound. That's like the normal order of root, third, fifth, but you can reorder them. Maybe go third, fifth, root. That's a C sharp, E, A. I think that's called first inversion. And if we reorder it again, a fifth, root, third. That's a E, A, C sharp. Looks like a good old A chord. And here's a fifth on top, this open E. So that's kind of how we get chords, is just from the scale. Be aware of the intervals and then build them into chords. And you're going to get shapes like this. Yikes, too big of a stretch. Ouch, that hurts. Not recommended. But yeah, you've got your A major chords all over the neck. And so you want to pursue those as much as you can. Learn as many inversions and versions of A major that you can. Now let's make it minor. What do you do to make it minor? Do you remember? It's one really simple move. From an A major chord to A minor, all you must do is flat the, tell me, I'm listening, flat the what? What? No, yeah, it's the third. Flat the third. So here's our root, check it out. Root, third, fifth, major, root, flatted third, fifth, which sounds very cool. Or here's your cowboy chord, A major, flat the third, C sharp, goes down to C. Major, very hopeful. Minor, Donald Trump. No, I mean bad. Whatever, sorry. So then we can really have a lot of fun making it major here. Minor, major, minor, major, minor, major, minor. that's all you need for an A minor chord. So be sure to practice what we're talking about. Let's do another chord. Let's make an A7. This is where it gets interesting. On an A7, you have to flat the 7th degree of the scale. Let's find the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is a major 7. Danger, danger. That is not an A7, that's a major 7 if we put the A flat or G sharp in there. So we have to flat it. That means a G. So we're going to flat the 7th to make an A7 chord. So here's like an A chord. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's the 7. Flat it for A7. So it's a major chord. It's got a root, 3rd, 5th, plus a flatted 7. Or an A chord where you add a G will give you an A7. There's the G. You can also, here's a good one. Find that flatted 7 on the 5th fret, 4th string. We can leave the 5th or the root out sometimes. That's a cool shape. It's a flatted 7, a major 3rd, and a 5th. G, C sharp, E. Really easy shape. And of course we can move these to other keys. You got so it's very movable, transferable. Basically, you just got to know your shapes. It's kind of like, all right, first graders, today we're going to talk about triangles. Tomorrow we're going to talk about circles. And, these are just like formulas. You just got to know, these little colors, these sounds, the way, kind of an ingredients list to build a flatted dominant 7th chords. Root, 3rd, 5th, flatted 7. How many ways can you play an A7 chord? I'm sure you know a few. You probably know this one. Or add the G up here. Or this one like we did. You could even put the G in the bass. The good old bar chord we just did with pinky, that's a G. Just add a G to an A chord, or it's hiding there. There's an A major, A7. Here's an A major, looks like a D chord. Flip it to like a D7 shape, which sounds cool. Here's a good one. Looks just like a C chord. Add your pinky. That's a root, 3rd, flatted 7, root. There's no 5th in there, but you can leave the 5th out. Once in a while, it's kind of implied. You can kind of just hear it in your mind, and it's okay to skip that 5th. But if you want it, you could. Oh boy, not enough fingers. Now we lost a root. Well, how about this? That's a little awkward. It's alright. Don't worry about flattening or losing the 5th. Here's one up high, which we're just repeating after the 12th fret. some kind of weirder shapes, like here's a third, fifth, and flatted 7. That's a C sharp. Fifth and a flatted 7. The reason you want to know chord formulas because then you can make new and interesting phrases. If you're playing some blues and you're kind of sick of going, which I don't know how you could get sick of that, but if you did, let's say you've been playing for hours and hours and you need something different. And the more comfortable you get with this, you can start adding things like maybe a ninth. A ninth is just like an A7, except we add a ninth. What's a ninth? Check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is adding a B. It's the ninth note of a scale. So, which would give you a chord like, you know, that thing. The ninth chord is your middle index ring lays flat across 3 skinny strings. That's root, third, flatted 7. Ninth is this B on the second string. Then you get a fifth on the first string. That's an E. So, as I ramble, check this out. An idea. It just sounds kind of refreshing, doesn't it? It's a third, a fifth, flatted 7, 9. So you start getting kind of comfortable with that ninth sound. And that really expands our note choices if you're improvising. Alright, this is going on way too long, but let's just add one little fun idea before I close. Thank you for listening, and if you can subscribe, that'd be cool. Thank you for subscribing. Let's just look at a phrasing idea, a minor third to a major third. That's why the pentatonic scale, A minor pentatonic scale, it sounds cool, but if you warm it up and add a major third like this, warm it up with that major third, and it will relate to your chord just a little better. So that's why being aware of these intervals is really important. I like that major third. C sharp. How about this one? Whoops. Then you can get chromatic or I like the sound of the minor third going to the major third. There's a strange thing, I will say one last thing. It does not necessarily work in reverse as well, from major third to minor over a chord. Major to minor sounds a little weird, so it doesn't reverse as well. Like you're going. It's kind of like you establish that major sound and then deflated. Like, oh, good, major. To minor, it's like, ah. I mean, it happens sometimes, but it's usually going to go kind of more the opposite. There it is, way up there. Okay, that's it. Ask questions. I like questions. And I hope you have a really good day. Thank you so much. Take care.